गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा नंदना ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदना ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदना ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदना ब्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौरा हरि बोल गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल गौरा हरि हरिनाम संकीर्तन की will recite from Srimad Bhagavatam. Third canto. Third canto, chapter 24, text number 1 to 4. Chapter 24. Okay. Was it different? Huh? So we'll recite and repeat shloka number 4 of text, chapter 24. Sat tvaya radita shuklo Sat tvaya radita shuklo Vitanvan mamakam yashaha Vitanvan mamakam yashaha Chetta te hridaya grantim Chetta te hridaya grantim Audaryo brahma bhavanaha Audaryo brahma bhavanaha Satvaya radita shuklo Vitanvan mamakam yashaha Chetta te hridaya grantim Audaryo brahma bhavanaha. Duties can repeat. Satvaya radita shuklo Vitanvan yashaha Chetta te hridaya grantim Audaryo brahma bhavanaha. Satvaya radita shuklo Vitanvan mamakam yashaha Cheta te hridaya grantim Audaryo brahma bhavanaha. Satvaya radita shuklo Vitanvan mamakam yashaha Cheta te hridaya grantim Audaryo brahma bhavanaha. Mataji wants to receive. Satvaya radita shuklo Vitanvan mamakam yashaha Cheta te hridaya grantim Audaryo brahma bhavanaha. Translation. The personality of Godhead, being worshipped by you, will spread the name and my name and fame. He will vanquish the knot of your heart by becoming your son and teaching the knowledge of Brahman. Purport. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead comes to disseminate spiritual knowledge for the benefit of all people, he generally descends as the son of a devotee, being pleased by the devotee's devotional service. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the father of everyone. No one, therefore, is his father, but by his inconceivable energy, he accepts some of the devotees as his parent and descendants. It is explained here that spiritual knowledge vanquishes the knot of the heart. Matter and spirit are knotted by false ego. This identification of oneself with matter, which is called Hridaya Granthi, exists for all conditional souls, and it becomes more and more tightened when there is too much affection for sex life. The explanation was given by the Lord Rishabha to his sons that this material world is an atmosphere of attraction between male and female. That attraction takes the shape of a knot in the heart. And by material affection, it becomes still more tight. For people who hanker after material possessions, society, friendship, and love, this knot of affection becomes very strong. It is only by the Brahma Bhavana, the instruction by which spiritual knowledge is enhanced, the knot in the heart is cut into pieces. That knot in the heart is cut to pieces. No material weapon is needed to cut this knot, but it requires a bona fide spiritual instruction. Kardama Muni instructed his wife, Devahuti, that the Lord would appear as her son and disseminate spiritual knowledge to cut the knot of material identification. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamsha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradhayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratushe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patidanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I would like to welcome and thank all the devotees for assembled on the Sunday morning to hear something from Srimad Bhagavatam. And I am humbled to speak in front of all the devotees. All of you are very knowledgeable and very sincerely and seriously practicing Krishna consciousness from years after year. So especially I would like to take blessings of His Grace, Keshav Kripa Sindhu Prabhu, who in fact in 2012 August, so I am the first devotee I am meeting is His Grace Keshav Kripa Sindhu Prabhuji, registering in front of the mess in the PS University for the device courses that time. So first time I am meeting Prabhuji with one more Yashwant Prabhu. Correct, Yashwant Prabhu. So now I am sitting here and Prabhuji is hearing. It's very humbling for me to speak in front of him. He is my one who brought me to Krishna consciousness. Like he registered for me for device course. So it's long years. So many things Prabhuji has done for me, helped me in my spiritual growth and advancements also. So I'll thank each and every one of you for being assembled here to hear about something about Srimad Bhagavatam today. I don't have qualification, but it's for my own purification as fulfilling the instructions of the devotee who had given me to speak today on this verse, wonderful verse of instructions of Kardama Muni to Devahuti. So I supposed to complete 4 shlokas. So let's read the translation from the shloka number 1 of 24th chapter. Yeah. So to give summary of the background, what exactly happens is, this is the 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where the Maitreya and Vidura Samvad is a very prominent here. It goes on from the beginning from the 3rd canto till the end of the 4th canto. Maitreya and Vidura Samvad. So discussion between both of them. So Maitreya, I'm not going to much detail. So he was suggested by Vidura, by Uddhava to take suggestion from. Means Uddhava was initially going, Vidura was initially going to Uddhava to take the direction. Because Maitreya was very senior in age, as well as he has received the personal audience of Krishna and his instructions also. So Uddhava directs Vidura to take instructions and hear Krishna Katha from Maitreya Muni. And when the Samvad begins, first thing Vidura asks is about, please tell about the lineage of Swayambhuva Manu. So Swayambhuva Manu, in that lineage, there are so many other children also. Especially one of the questions he asks is, please tell me about the main daughter, the elder daughter of Swayambhuva Manu, who is Devahuti. So about Devahuti, a discussion happens. And in the beginning of Devahuti's discussion, the first thing comes is Kardama Muni. The first discussion about Kardama Muni is starting. And who is this Kardama Muni? Kardama Muni is the son of Lord Brahma himself. And Lord Brahma, when he was creating progeny for the purpose of increasing the population in this world. So that was his service, what he received from Lord Vishnu. So he wanted to increase the population in this universe. So Kardama, receiving the blessings and guidance from his father Brahmaji, he wanted to increase the progeny. So how he can fulfill that order? He has to enter into Grihasthashram. He has to get married. So he wanted a proper wife to get married. So then Kardama Muni, what to do now? I want to get a wife to be married. So he doesn't go to marriage board, he goes to Supreme Lord. He goes to Supreme Lord and starts offering austerities, doing tapasya for the Supreme Lord, for the purpose of getting married. So he does a tapasya, and being pleased by his tapasya, who appears? Lord Vishnu personally appears. Pleased by the Kardama Muni's tapasya. And so much so that Lord cries seeing his tapasya. And that whatever the tears are there of Lord Vishnu, it has become a sarovar called as Bindu Sarovar, somewhere in the region of Gujarat and Rajasthan, that area. So Bindu Sarovar is there, which is the tears of Lord Vishnu seeing the tapasya of Kardama Muni. And Kardama Muni then he laments after seeing the Lord, Lord, I have did lot of austerity and worship for you. For what purpose? For fulfilling my material desire. So my material desire of getting married. So please forgive me. But I have this material desire. What to do? It's instruction from my father only. So please grant me a wife so that I can do my devotional service and my duties to my father also. Then Lord says, don't worry, means I already arranged that for you. So you continue your worship to me. Swayambhuva Manu, who has a daughter called as Devahuti, who is highly qualified, and he himself will come and make the arrangements for you. You need not worry. So sometime marriage comes means, so devotees are very busy. So he told Kardama Muni, no need to get busy. So Lord will come and arrange everything for you through Swayambhuva Manu. So as Lord instructed or gave the benediction, so Kardama Muni continued his devotional service. Swayambhuva Manu comes with his daughter Devahuti, because Lord inspires in the heart of Swayambhuva Manu to go to the forest and offer his daughter to Devahuti to Kardama Muni. And in the forest, then there is a discussion between Kardama Muni and Swayambhuva Manu. Huge, nice discussions. Both glorify each other One is a, uh, what do you say, Mahajan, Manu Maharaj, Mahajan. So both glorify each other. Kardama Muni is the son of Brahma and great devotee of the Lord, pure devotee of the Lord. So the glorification happens each other. At the end of the day, Swayambhu Manu gives marriage of Devahuti to Kardama Muni. Marriage takes place. After the marriage, then Swayambhu Manu goes back to the palace and Kardama Muni continues his devotional service. And Devahuti humbly, meekly serving her husband. His austerity is like continued. And she has to arrange all the facility for her husband's austerity, tapasya and devotional service. And it's been long, long years it went on. She got emancipated. She's from queen from the big kingdom, the emperor of the world. But serving her husband so like menially, she's serving with full respect and awe and reverence. And after being so many years of service, she got emancipated and very weak. And seeing her condition, Kardama Muni's heart becomes melted. Like, okay, my dear wife, now what you want, please tell. And she expresses her desire to have, please give me a children like that. Kardama Muni, okay, fine. Then there is an instance when Kardama Muni, with his yogic power, with his power, creates an aerial mansion so that Devahuti can be revived in her beauty and all her health. Then after that, they enjoys in being the aerial mansion for months. Then they come back to the hermitage and Kardama Muni impregnates Devahuti to produce 9 daughters. So 9 daughters are produced. After producing 9 daughters, because previously there was a condition, after I give you children, I am going, Vanaprastha. That was his condition before marriage. So then, like he was about to leave Kardama Muni from his home, leaving behind Devahuti and children. Then Devahuti laments, oh my dear husband, you are such an exalted devotee. And somehow, when you asked for a benediction, I asked not for Brahma Vidya or spiritual knowledge, rather for my material desires. So she started lamentation. The previous chapter is 23 chapters are lamentation of Devahuti. And her lamentation was so deep and very much touching to the Kardama Muni's heart. Kardama Muni says, okay, I will stay back more time and I will give you a son also. And who will be this son? This son will be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he is going to give the Brahma Vidya which you are aspiring now for you. So he is going to the Brahma Vidya, that whatever spiritual knowledge you wanted, and he is going to make your life, he is going to give Ashoka and Abhaya for you, what you are trying to get from me. So that way he gives the instruction to her. So that's what the following instructions are. The first sloka of our 24th chapter, where it says, recalling the words of Lord Vishnu, the merciful sage Kardama replies as follows to Swayambhu Manu's praiseworthy daughter, Devahuti, who was speaking the word full of renunciation. Yeah. So Kardama Muni immediately recalls, oh, Lord said to Kardama Muni, I will personally come as your son. So recalling that promise of Lord Vishnu, he assures his own wife, Devahuti, that, and Devahuti also full of qualities to receive the knowledge and instruction from Kardama Muni. And Rishi Ruvacha, that Kardama Rishi, he says, the sage said, do not be disappointed with yourself, O princess. You are actually praiseworthy. The infallible Supreme Personality of Godhead will shortly enter your womb as your son. So he is promising her that you will get a Supreme Personality as your own son. Don't be so much morose and disappointed. Lord is becoming your son, not anyone else. The Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, he is coming as your own son. It's very rare to get such a kind of opportunity, like Dasharath Maharaj Kaushalya, or Prishni and Sutapa, or Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, Devaki and Vasudev. These are the great personalities who have done a lot of austerities for thousands of years to get this benediction of invite Lord as their son. In 5th canto also, Nabhi and Meru Devi did austerity and sacrifices for the Lord to get him as their own son. Then comes Rishabdev. So not easy to get Lord as own son. And there Prabhupada writes also, we should not invite Lord to this world. Rather, we should worship Lord and go to where Lord is there. But here it is, the pure devotion of the Kardama Muni inspired the Lord himself to tell that, I will come as your son. So, then he continues his instruction to Devahuti. You have undertaken sacred vows. God will bless you. Hence, you should worship the Lord with great faith through sensory control, religious observances, austerities, and gift of your money in charity. Basically, don't think, oh, anyway, Lord is coming now in our house. I can be, no need to have sense control or perform any religious duties and other things. No. He's saying you should continue your austerities and sense control and charity, all these things. Very important, because these things will yajna dahana tapa pavanani manishinaha. It purifies anyone, whoever performs this yajna, dhana, tapa. So it is for our own purification, one should continue performing this. So Prabhupada says in the purport, in order to spiritually advance or to achieve the mercy of the Lord, one must be self-controlled in the following manner. He must be restrained in sense gratification and must follow the rules and regulations of religious principle. Jai Jai Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki, Gaurangi Benduri Shri Bhagavan ki, Shnitai Chaitanya Bhagavan ki, Shri Prabhupada ki. Without austerity and penance, and without sacrificing one's riches, one cannot achieve the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Kardama Muni advised his wife, you have to factually engage in devotional service with austerity and penance, following the religious principles and giving charity. Then the Supreme Lord will be pleased with you. He will come as your son. He was saying, okay, Lord has promised that He will come as your son. Don't become lethargic and relaxed. Okay, anyway, Lord is coming. I can do whatever I want and continue with my... It's easy to be lazy. So don't be like that. Means he's warning his own wife, but she was not like that. Still, for our own, we have to understand that. So that's why Kardama Muni giving such an instruction to his wife. Otherwise, wife is Devahuti, who is a first class wife, and in penance, she is equivalent to her husband. Husband was busy in serving the Lord, and wife is busy in serving the husband with a full, sincere and honesty, with all full chastity. Now the fourth shloka, which we discussed, where Kardama Muni says, the personality of Godhead being worshipped by you will spread my name and fame. He will vanquish the knot of your heart, becoming your son and teaching the knowledge of Brahman. So she was lamenting in the previous chapter, I want to get rid of this attachment to this material world, attachment to the sukha, dukkha, shita, ushna, mana, apaman. All these things are tormenting me. I'm searching for happiness, but at the end of the day, I'm getting distress only. Why all these things? She was asking so many beautiful questions every sadhaka asks. So, inspired by her renunciation, he promises that your son is going to give all this, whatever knowledge you wanted to get, he is going to give. So, the purport we have read. And in the next shloka it comes, where Maitreya says, Devahuti was fully faithful and respectful towards the direction of her husband, Kardama, who was one of the Prajapatis, or generators of human beings in the universe. O great sage, she thus began to worship the master of the universe and the supreme personality of Godhead, who is situated in everyone's heart. The later what happens in this chapter, then after a few years, Kardama Muni stays back in the ashram and gives the child. Means Lord Kapila appears in the family of Kardama and Devahuti. And end of this chapter, renunciation of Kardama Muni. Even though Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared in his family, he is strict. Vanaprastha lena hi hai. So he took Vanaprastha and went for his full meditation into the Lord and goes back to Godhead. Then comes the instruction of Lord Kapila to Mother Devahuti. The Prabhupada has written a separate book, which is the compilation of all the Prabhupada lectures. So we have that teachings of Lord Kapila. The entire section starts where Mother Devahuti puts the questions, and her own son, she is humble enough to hear from her own son. In fact, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that entire instruction is there. So we'll discuss from this previous purport of Prabhupada, that where he says about some things which will be the focus of our class will be. It is explained that here that The spiritual knowledge vanquishes the knot of the heart. And what is this knot? Prabhupada is explaining very beautifully. Knot is nothing but it is the attachment, or it is the combination of matter and spirit. Actually, matter and spirit, they can never come together. High incompatibility. Like we studied in chemistry before, oil and water. High incompatibility. They can never mix. They are immiscible liquid, we studied. Not miscible. They cannot mix each other. So same way, more than that is the matter and spirit. They can never be together. Very uncomfortable situation. The situation that we are in, matter, and the inside we have spirit. Very uncomfortable situation. But one thing makes it go together, that is false ego. Matter is like spirit is identifying with matter. Then only it can go together. Otherwise, it's highly impossible to matter and spirit to stay together. So matter and spirit are knotted by false ego and avidya, misidentification. That, oh, I am this matter. I can enjoy this matter. False ego is there. So matter and spirit are together only because of false ego. And Prabhupada continues. This identification of oneself with matter is called as Hridaya Granthi. This is the Hridaya Granthi. That Hridaya, Arjuna says in Bhagavad Gita in the beginning, Hridaya, Dhaurbalyam, weakness of the heart. This is not just the weakness of the heart. This is the bondage in the heart. So Hridaya Granthi, that oneself identifying with the matter, exists. This Hridaya Granthi exists for all conditional souls. And it becomes, this Hridaya Granthi is already there, the knot between the matter and spirit. And the Prabhupada is saying further, it becomes more and more tighter when there is too much affection for sex life, he's saying. That later we'll discuss some more Rishabdev's instruction, as Prabhupada only himself quoted. So Rishabdev's instruction to his sons. So that becomes, Hridaya Granthi becomes more tighter and more difficult to overcome when there is affection for the sex life more and more. The explanation was given by Lord Rishabdev to his sons that this material world is an atmosphere of attraction between male and female. That attraction takes place the shape of knot in the heart. And Prabhupada explains in the purport there. This knot is not a one way. Like one decides to leave, it will not leave. Like even if one decides to leave, another will keep holding. So it's a two-way knot that Prabhupada explains in the purport. Like it's a two-way knot. Even if one leaves, another will be holding. So it's very difficult to overcome that knot. For people who hanker after material position, society, friendship and love, this knot of affection becomes very strong. It is only by Brahma Bhavana, the instruction by the spiritual knowledge is enhanced, that the knot in the heart is cut into pieces. So today we are going to discuss only the knot in the heart is cut into pieces. So our discussion will be mostly on this. I made some small reference from the Bhagavatam, collecting some shlokas. So we can discuss on that for some time. One second, let me open that file. Yeah, cutting the knot. So there are a lot of shlokas in the Bhagavatam where Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita also it comes. Let's see. Explaining this concept more and more deeply. Visible? From various purports about Hridaya Granthi. What is this Hridaya Granthi? The first shloka we'll see from Chaitanya Charitamrita, where Lord Chaitanya explains to Sanatana Goswami about the explanation of Atma Rama verse. In that explanation, he says this shloka, Nirgrantha Shabda Kahe Avidya Granthi Hina Vidhi Nisheda Veda Shastra Jnanadi Vihina. The word Nirgrantha, we were discussing about the Hridaya Granthi. So what is Nirgrantha, without Grantha? Refers to one who is liberated from the material knots of ignorance. This is the one of the meaning of Nirgrantha. So one who is liberated from the material knots of ignorance. And the most famous shloka comes from the second chapter of the first canto. Yadanudhyasina yukta karma granthi nibandhanam chindanti kovidastasya kona kuryat katharatim. So how we can cut the knot? This is personally said by Suta Goswami to all the Naimisharanya sages, that how we can cut with a spiritual practice. So with a sword in hand, the intelligent man, Kovida, cut through the binding knots of reactionary work by remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, who will not pay attention to his message? Kona kuryat katharati. So Prabhupada says in the purport there, one has to cut the knot if he wants to liberate from the actions and reactions of fruity work. It's very important to cut the knot. This knot has to be cut, the knot between the matter and spirit, the misidentification, that matter, like spirit identifying with matter, that has to be removed. That when the technically called as liberation. When completely relieved from the attachment, we call it as liberation. So liberation means cutting the hard knot in the heart. Very easy to cut when one hears constantly and remembers the transcendental pastimes of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yad anudhyasina yukta. Dhyana is there. The meditation of the Supreme Lord's pastimes are there. Then it is very easy to cut. Otherwise, cutting becomes very, very painful. The cut means we feel it's very, very painful. So this cutting naturally takes place when one is able to do anudhyasina yuktaha, one who is engaged in the worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or one who is constantly able to hear about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his katha, his pastimes, then it is very, very easy to remove. Otherwise, like all of us, we have experience. While chanting, it's very difficult. Our heart feels very dry and very, like, there is no, like in English, juice or rasa is not there while chanting. Whereas in Bhagavatam or in Chaitanya Charitamrita, or even if you say, every day we sing Shishashtakam, Cheto Darpanamarjanam, Bhava Mahadagni Nirvapanam, Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam, Vidyavadu Jivanam, Ananda Ambudi Vardhanam, Ananda Ambudi Vardhanam, Pratipadam Purna Amrita Asvadanam. Do we feel that regularly? We don't feel, like we feel very dry while chanting the holy name because we are not able to absorb in the holy name. In fact, yesterday I was hearing from His Grace Vyasacharya Prabhu, he was giving a class in IAC voice. So there he was mentioning, many times we do a mistake. We have a process, beautiful process of Krishna consciousness. And we have lot of pastimes, not only of Krishna, we have pastimes of Lord Gauranga, Nityananda. It's more and more sweeter of pastimes of Nityananda and Gauranga. So these pastimes we have being Gaudiya Vaishnavas, still we are unable to get absorbed in this holy name because we don't ourselves allow our consciousness to get absorbed, he was saying. How? He was giving an example. Suppose if you are making gulab jamun. I think many of us know how to make gulab jamun. So you first fry the balls, right? Make the ball and you fry the balls. And after frying the balls, what you have to supposed to do? You have to soak it in the sugar syrup. And many times we doesn't soak properly, like we don't soak it properly, like you just touch it and take it. Will that be very nice gulab jamun? No, we have to literally allow the very dry jamun which is fried to allow to completely absorb inside the sugar syrup for hours and hours. Inside the syrup, we have to allow it. Same way, he was saying, we have to allow our consciousness to get absorbed in the Krishna's pastime. Or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, hours after hour. Are we doing that? Many times we hear as a ritual or multitasking hearing happens. While hearing, something else also we'll be doing at the same time. Hearing time is, okay, WhatsApp checking time or mail checking time. Hearing is happening. We are hearing, at the same time we do something else. We don't allow our consciousness to get absorbed in the pastimes of Krishna. That is a big trouble. So we should allow. Yeah, there are a lot of glories we hear. We have to hear the Lord's pastimes only by hearing Shrunatam Sukata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hridayantastaho Abadrani Vidunoti Suhrusatam. We hear like that. What is it? Shrunatam, by hearing the Shrunatam Sukata Krishna, by Krishna's glories and katha. When you hear, what happens? Krishna is entering through our ear and he enters through the heart. And in the heart, what does he do? In the heart, vidunoti suhrusatam, all the contamination in the heart, he removes it. We are hearing it, but we don't hear Krishna Katha. Like only when you hear Krishna Katha, that thing is going to happen. So how we have to hear? We have to dedicatedly give time every day. I don't know, all of us have a lot of responsibilities. Still, we should trying to do it every day for some time. Sit and hear only Krishna Katha, pure Krishna Katha from our spiritual masters. So all the spiritual masters gives wonderful Krishna Katha, Gaura Katha. Sit and hear. That's what we have to do. Absorb. Give our consciousness time to absorb. We don't give time for absorption. We immediately, many times, like it just soak it and take it. Okay, 5 minutes, just soak it and take it, that ball. Then that gulab jamun is not so, what do you say, not so taste or delicious. We want it to be very soft and you know how we like, no? When we give one bite, it should like, saliva should rush out like that. We want to relish the gulab jamun. But if we don't soak it properly, it will not come. Same way, in our consciousness also, we have to soak in the pastimes of Krishna, pastimes in the Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Intentionally, deliberately, we have to sit and hear. How are we really doing that? It's questionable. So those who are doing it, definitely they are able to relish the holy name like anything. They can relish the holy name. And when they hear the pastime again and again, you can hear pastimes of, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself sets example, hearing the pastimes of Dhruva Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj for how many times? 1 time? 2 times? Hundreds of times from the mouth of Gadadhar Pandit, who is himself relishing the pastimes of Dhruva and Prahlad Maharaj. Not only Dhruva and Prahlad, we have entire Bhagavatam to hear, entire Chaitanya Charitamrita to hear. So many pastimes of Krishna is there to hear. We don't hear. So that's why we feel, put on a pastime, already heard. Okay, next pastime. We are looking for newness. It's not about newness. We should get absorbed in the pastimes of the Lord, not for its details. Just get absorbed. This is my loving Krishna's pastimes. Just like a mother gets absorbed by hearing the child's activities, even though child is doing same thing. My child is walking. Yeah, anyway, every day he walks. Now, what is special about today? But mother doesn't see that my child is walking today. For her, every step of child is special. Every activity of child is special. Because the love is there for the mother to the child. The love makes every activity of the child very special. Same way, we being devotees of Krishna, loving Krishna, for us also every simple activities of Krishna should be very special and we should take into the heart. And when we consciously give time to hear such simple activities and pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan, Mathura, Dwaraka, Hastinapura, then Krishna will definitely come and play in our heart and dance in our tongue when we chant his holy name. So it's definitely possible. Only possible if you are giving dedicated time to hear and absorb in his katha. So that we have to do. Then the transcendental pastimes of the Lord will be so sweet, and his transcendental holy name, which is directly appearing from the Goloka Vrindavana, Golokera Premadana, Harinama Sankirtana. Currently our condition is Ratina Janmilapa. We are not able to get Rati for that, taste for that. That is because of our own anarthas, our own problems. Because we are stuck up with the dry anarthas of this world. Anarthas are so, in one way, logically if you see, Krishna explaining in the Bhagavad Gita also, that यही संस्पर्श झाब होगा दुख योने येवते आद्यंत वंत कौंतेय ना तेषु रमते बुधा. One who is intelligent will never try to enjoy those enjoyments which appears because of the contact between sense and sense object, because they are very, very temporary and illusory. It appears and immediately vanishes. Such sensory enjoyments is very temporary. Buddha, an intelligent person, does not like to relish in such kind of enjoyment because they are very, very temporary and illusory. But rather, he will like to invest in those activities where he can get maximum enjoyment. Like many of you are working and wanting to work, you see where you can invest your money or whatever assets in the best possible so that you can get maximum returns. Anyway, at the end of the life, everything is vanishes. Still, as a matter of duty, we try to do all the household duties and many other duties of family and studies and everything. We do it So that maximum we can get where returns we see, so that we can give more time to Krishna in the later time. So same way, we have to invest that kind of enjoyment in our life where we can get maximum happiness. The happiness in Krishna consciousness, the swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayato mahato bhayat. Little bit also investment gives maximum benefit. Such kind of investment we try to do. We should try to do. Otherwise what happens? Everyone in this world is running after material enjoyment. Decades, centuries, and thousands of millenniums, they're trying to do the same thing. Still they are not happy. And we, after knowing the philosophy also, if we try to do the same thing, not getting absorbed in Krishna's pastimes and leelas, then there is no much difference between us and them. They are ignorantly doing, we are deliberately becoming ignorant. That should not happen. We should take time to hear about Krishna and relish about Krishna. So very easy to cut this knot between in the heart of the material attachment when one hears the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. And Lord will purify. We are not purifying our heart, Lord will purify. It can cut because his activities are beyond three modes. Yeah, why Lord's activities can cut, or the holy name can cut the material attachment in the heart? Because this holy name and Lord's pastimes are beyond three modes. They are not manufactured or made in this world. They are beyond three modes. So that's why it's easily able to cut. And we may ask, oh, I'm not able to see Krishna, not able to understand Krishna. How will I understand? I can get in the beginning of the Krishna consciousness only some spiritual experience. All of us have some spiritual experience. Otherwise, we cannot be here. We relish something in Krishna consciousness which even science cannot explain. Such experience we have. That emotional, either it can be in an emotional or sentimental platform, or it can be much more realized platform also. We have some experience in Krishna conscious life, we cannot give up. Even if someone says, I will give you 10 crores, give up chanting 16 rounds. No sir, thank you. We have that much confidence though, after chanting for so many years, even if people offers us money and everything, we can say, no sir, I want to continue chanting. Money cannot purchase my determination. So another duty may say also, Prabhu, take also, you chant also. So that is there, that you have to take guidance from your superiors, how much you can do that. Don't do independently. Anyway, no one will come and ask like that. Unless you are going to join and dedicate your life, then parents come to temple, take our money, blank check. You have any example like this? You remember? His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj. He was a billionaire's son. So when he wanted to dedicate his life for Prabhupada's services, father came, Swamiji, take this check and leave my son. Prabhupada said, no, take your son. I don't want your check also. And father was very much touched by the Prabhupada's dealing. Prabhupada was not attached. Hey, father is coming and taking my disciple Giriraj Swami. He is doing such a nice service. He didn't feel anything. Yeah, take your son. He's your son. You have given birth to him. Please take him. Prabhupada said like that. But Giriraj Swami Maharaj, no, I will not come. I want to be with my Guru. I want to be here only. So nothing else. Then later, Giriraj Swami Maharaj saying, Prabhupada, you should have kept me also. That check also. We need check for a lot of services. Prabhupada said, no need. So being in touch with such spiritual activity gradually spiritualizes the conditional soul. It gradually spiritualizes the conditional soul. Not that suddenly, today we are chanting 16 rounds, tomorrow we are liberated. It's not like that. Ultimately, sever the knot of bondage. So there is a shloka in Rupa Goswami Path gives in the Nectar of Instruction. That what is that? Jaundice shloka. How does it start? Kintu adarat anudinam kaluseva jushta sadhi krama tadbhavati mula hantri. But how does it start? Just missing. Yennama. That shloka, like where he says that the jaundice of disease in our tongue doesn't. You got it? Shloka? How does NOA 6, I think, 6 or 7. Asyat Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapya Vidya Pitopatatarasanasya Narochikano Kintu Adaradhanudinam Kaluseva Jushta Swadi Krama Tad Bhavati Mula Hantri. So he says, when Syat Krishna Nama Charitadi, these are actually Sita. Sita means sugar candy. Krishna, Nama, Charita, Adi. All these Guna, Rupa, Leela, Namna, holy name of the Lord is Sita. Like it is like sugar candy. But Pittoptatapta Rasanasya, Narochikano, Pitta, Upatapta. Pitta Upatapta means the jaundiced tongue, diseased with material enjoyment, that jaundiced tongue cannot enjoy the Krishna's name, Guna, Rupa, Leela, Namna. Because our consciousness, our tongue, here is the example of tongue for jaundice. Jaundice tongue cannot taste the sugar candy. Sugar candy is sweet or not? Very sweet. Very relishable. Sugar cane juice also, very relishable. When summer comes, it's very nice to drink sugar cane juice. So, it's very relishable, but a jaundiced person, you give a sugar cane juice, he cannot relish. It's highly bitter for him. Same way our consciousness, jaundiced with the disease of material enjoyment, cannot taste the Krishna's Guna, Rupa, Leela, Namna. But what has the solution, he says? No, keep taking sugar candy. Keep taking sugar cane juice. Because this is the medicine for the jaundice. Krishna's Guna, Rupa, Leela is medicine also. Not just it's for enjoyment. That is the beauty of process of Krishna consciousness. The path of Krishna consciousness is the goal of Krishna consciousness. Whatever we are doing in Krishna consciousness, which is helping us to get purified in our heart, purifying our heart, it is also our goal. What we are doing now, chanting of the holy name. So what is the goal of chanting? More and more chanting. Which we want to chant more and more. And now we do service to Vaishnava, service to the Supreme Lord Himself. So why we do that? We want to do that only, same thing. No difference. In this context, I would like to remember one pastime from one of the disciple of Sripad Ramanujacharya, of Anantacharya. All of you might have heard the name Anantacharya. So Anantacharya was one of the very dedicated disciple of Ramanujacharya. So what he was known for? Ramanujacharya called him as An Billai. An Billai means, you are the man, like that. Because he took the instruction once in Srirangam. So in the big, like every day, Ramanujacharya gives a class, like we have every day in our temples, Bhagavatam class. So he was giving a wonderful class. So many hundreds of devotees, including the sannyasis, brahmacharis, and all the grahasthas and their wives, and everyone was hearing from Ramanujacharya. And he was describing the pastimes of Lord Balaji. He was describing the pastimes of Lord Balaji. And while describing, he feels a little bit pain in the heart that there is no one in the hill of Tirumala to take care of Balaji's services. He was explaining in the Katha, Lord Balaji likes flower so much. But there is no one to offer even one flower to Balaji in the hill now. No one is there. So at the end of the class, he just asked, would anyone like to go to the hill of Tirumala and make some garden in the hill of Tirumala and offer flowers to Balaji, who is very dear. Like for him, flowers are very dear. You might have seen in the decorations in Tirupati, so grandly they decorate Balaji with the flowers. So he likes flowers so much. All the sannyasis are like, how we will give up. Not that who will go to take trouble there. Not that the reason. Who will give up the association of such a great Acharya, Ramanujacharya, every day giving Bhagavatam, like from the Shastras, explaining about scriptures and Lord's pastimes. Giving up this association, we have to go and do that service. No. Let us be here. So they are feeling like that because we could not get separated from the Ramanujacharya. So, but one personality, not sannyasi, not any elderly person, not any young boy or brahmachari, a grihastha who was having his wife pregnant. He was having a courage to raise his hand. If this service pleases to my spiritual master, whatever it is, I am ready to do. He raised his hand. And next day only, both of them, who? This Anantacharya and his dear wife, pregnant. They don't have flight to go to Tirupati that time. They have to walk. Both Anantacharya and his wife. And she's carrying a baby also. And both of them walked till the hill of Tirumala. And in Tirumala, Immediately he starts, after reaching there, big pastime is there. He constructs very beautiful pond first to store the water. Then with that water, then he nicely constructs many, many gardens around the pond. And one time what happened, like he was plucking the flower. He was plucking the flower for the Lord. And he had many Sevites also by that time. Many people came to serve him and assist him. And plucking the flower for the Lord, one time a snake bit him. Snake came and bit him. And his Sevites are saying that Pujari also, temple also, hey, snake has bitten you. Please go and take some medicine and jadibuti and other things. You should get saved from the death. He just continued and absorbed in service. And after that, this Sevite and went to complain to the Lord, Balaji, that this Anantacharya, his snake has bitten him and he's not taking care of anything on that regard. So please tell him. Lord used to talk that time. So then Anantacharya comes with a garland to offer to the Lord. Anantacharya comes and Lord asks, hey Anantacharya, what I am hearing? Your snake has bitten you, why don't you take care? And he's like, Lord, which snake has bitten me? You're talking about the snake of samsara in this world, which I am struggling with, say snake of samsara, or that ordinary snake with little poison has bitten me. So which snake are you talking about? I'm talking about the second one. The Lord is like, second one, first one. Lord is like impressed really by his devotion to the Lord, devotion and dedication. And then he says, Lord, how does it make any difference? If I die, what will happen? I come to Vaikuntha, and there also I pluck the flower and make the garland and offer to you. If I don't die, here also I am plucking the flower from the garden, make the garland and offering to you. How does it make difference? Means same thing. Like there is no something supreme thing he is doing in spiritual world. Whatever he was doing here, he was assured and convinced that same thing he is going to do for the Lord in the spiritual world. So for him, snake bite didn't feel any difference. Either in the material world I do service to the Lord or in the spiritual world, no difference. This is a Vaishnava Siddhanta. They don't even aspire for liberation from mukti. They're ready to go birth after. Mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhaktir ahaitu tvai. Birth after birth, they're ready to go. Mamuttama shloka janeshu sakyam samsara chakra brahmata sokarmavi. Like this Vrtrasura says, life after life also, let me be just a servant of your devotees. That is my, even Kulashekara Alvar also in Mukunda Mala Stotra. So many shlokas explaining life after life, bhava bhave, like that. He says, let me be serving your devotees and you. There is nothing else I need in my life. So devotees are not after free from material sufferings. They want spiritual taste and spiritual services to the Lord. So gradually one gets spiritualized. Syat Krishna Nama Pitopatapta Rasanasya Na Rochikano. The third line, Rupa Goswami says, Kintu Adharad Anudinam. Adharat, with respect and adoration, we chant the holy name of the Lord. Take into the process of hearing and reading all this with adhara, not as a ritual. Karna padta hai, sadhana card bharna hai. I think base devotees know, you have to fill sadhana card. How many hours you read, what time you got up, what time you slept, everything. So for that reason, initially it is good. Prabhupada also appreciates that. Military discipline in a life of a devotee. But still, that military discipline eventually should lead to sadhana bhakti, eventually should lead to raganuga. Naturally, spontaneously we want to feel and get up in the morning, I am going to see Lord Krishna today in Mangalarti. That aspiration should come in our heart eventually. So that will not happen suddenly. Rupa Goswami is saying here, Kintu Adarad Anudinam. Anudinam, when you try to chant the holy name of the Lord and read the scriptures and hear about the Krishna Katha, then Swadhi, that Swadha, the taste in the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, the taste in hearing about the pastimes of the Lord. Swadi kramadi, krama means gradually it comes. Swadi kramadi tad bhavati moolahantri, and with destroying all the jaundice in the heart, material attachment in the heart. So ultimately, by hearing the pastimes of the Lord, we can get out of this knot of material life. So liberation is just a byproduct of devotional service. Only attainment of spiritual knowledge alone will not help. Yeah, means just by hearing things will not happen. We have to hear along with, you have to understand also. Then apply. This is a complete package of Shravana. Shravana means not just hearing. I keep hearing. Every day I hear. All day I hear. No. By hearing you should understand. Hear. Shravana means hear, understand and apply. You should apply in our life also what we have to apply, what we have to do in the day-to-day life. Practical things after hearing. Not just hear and don't do anything. So don't, like sometimes we tell Krishna, Krishna, I want to do this, I want to do that. Don't tell Krishna, but show Krishna that you have done. That is more important. So show Krishna that I am doing this. So apply. It's very important to apply. Yeah. Karma overcoated with devotional service. So there are many things. The bhakti is everywhere. In karma yoga also there is a tinge of bhakti is required. Jnana yoga also bhakti is required. But pure bhakti is something beyond all the karma and jnana. It alone can give liberation as well as love of God. So pure bhakti. So we are in that path. So otherwise, what is happening? Yeah, I just wrote a monkey groundnut video. What is happening in our life is we have just stuck up with our own conditioning and our own attachments. And attachment, how to overcome? We have to give up. Problem is we don't give up. So this video is a very nice video. Let me just try to play. It was very inspiring. Prabhupada says it, but recently I saw this video. Yeah, monkey groundnut. You might have heard, monkey sometimes it catches the groundnut and it cannot take his hand out. So here we see.
Puts a sweet bait into the pitcher and then ties this pitcher to a tree with a very small opening. And the monkey comes, puts his hand into the pitcher, grabs the sweet. As it closes its fist to grab this bait, the opening is so small that a closed fist cannot come out of its mouth. But the monkey does not understand that all it has to do is let go of its little booty to free itself from slavery. It struggles and struggles to get its hand out, but doesn't open its fist and let go of the bait. Continues for all night, and in the morning, shrewd hunters come and catch it, all because of its attack.
All because of its attachment. Same way we are attached to material things. Like that's a living entity. Monkey is like a living entity who is attached to something material and he goes and catches it, and that leads to misery and suffering. And only Maya is giving all these material things to us. And who has to go and catch? We ourselves has to go and catch. It's not that Maya is catching us. She can only allure us. She can only, like, we can say, seduce us. But she can never literally catch us and make us forced to do. No. Like this only. Monkey only went. We only goes and catches material things. The spirit goes and catches the matter. We only go and catch. And then after that, because we are not able to release the hand from the material things, who comes and then captures? Maya. Maya comes with her Avaranatmika and Prakshepatmika. Prakshepatmika means, Avaranatmika means initially she covers us with ignorance. And Prakshepatmika means, then comes and gives night beatings. Left, right, center. That's what entire world is happening. Nice beatings. Beatings of Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, Adidhaivika. Then birth, old age, disease, death. Then some more beatings. 6 kleshas are there. Hunger, thirst, old age, death, and lamentation and fear of future. Yeah, lamentation and fear. All this Maya keeps us beating with. Because who is attached? We are attached. Just simple thing. Give the hand up. We can be free. But somehow we are attached. So that we have to give up. So when we read every day and hear every day, then it's possible to come out. So intelligent man, Prabhupada says, Kovida is above the average man. So we should not be like that monkey, catching the things and getting attached to this world. We should be above the average man and give up that tiny attachment. So much is there. He had entire forest to roam and find his food. But simply getting attached to that small one thing. So then in the third canto, there is a shloka of This is same actually. Same Dehavati section only comes. Esha manavi te garbham pravishta kaitabhardanaha avidya samshaya grantim chitva gham vicharishyati. Lord Brahma then told to Dehavati, my dear daughter of Manu, the same Supreme Personality of Godhead who killed the demon of Kaitaba is now within your womb. He will cut off all the knots of your ignorance and doubt. Then he will travel all over the world. So avidya refers to the forgetfulness of one's identity. Yeah. This we discussed. Knot is also called ahankara. By hearing this knot we can overcome. There is one more nice story of physician's knife. Let me just show how even sometimes medicine looks like a problem. If not for us, for others. And they will discourage us to take the medicine. Hey, mat le lo, like that. So there is a story of the story from the Upadesha Upakhyana of the Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Very nice story. So here Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains the physician's knife. Mic is there? Prabhu? Are you there? Read. Read. You can read. Yeah.
Amar was a village boy who had been suffering so much from a boil on his back that he attempted suicide.
Yeah, next. No, one devotee can read, yeah.
Seeing his pitiable condition, the villagers gathered around him and started giving their advices. Oh dear, let me use hand fan to give you relief.
Different people comes and give him different solutions for his boil.
Let me blow my cool breath to give you relief.
All his relatives and friends coming, yeah.
Maybe he should be given some anesthetic drug to save him from such an unbearable physical pain.
Yeah.
He is suffering so much. Better to kill the poor child and relieve him eternally from such a painful experience. If he were dead, he wouldn't be in pain anymore. The result would be complete solace to both the disease and patient.
Whose philosophy is this? Any guess? Mayavadi is a Buddhist. Kill yourself. Completely destroy your identity and become one with God. Like that. Yeah.
Unnerved by such advice, the wise father of the boy immediately sent for an experienced physician, disregarding his son's so-called well-wishers. Your child needs a minor surgery.
Somehow the doctor comes to save him. Father sends doctor. But now son also doesn't understand. And relatives also don't understand. Yeah, read.
The boy's relatives, including the boy's mother, grandmother, and others, started weeping all in a row. Oh, my son. The ignorant boy also started abusing the physician in the most vulgar words, saying, You have come to kill me. Leave me alone right now, or I must send for the police to arrest you. Why don't you strike the knife on your own body? Would you go and lynch your own son? I would rather take a dose of poison before I surrender myself to your hand for certain death. Turning deaf ear to the boy's delirious outburst, the physician held him tightly while he pressed and executed the surgical operation on the boy.
Physician was determined. He continued his job.
After a while, the boy was completely relieved of all agony and gradually became well within a few days. Thank you, now I am relieved.
Purport is there, I will read the purport. But any guess, who does this boy refers to? All of us. And he had friends and relatives? That's our friends and relatives and the world around us. And who is this doctor? Guess? Spiritual master. And father? Krishna. Krishna is sending the spiritual master. Yeah, let's read the purport. Yeah. Read. Okay, one more devotee can. Anuk, read.
Just like a real physician, quite often the real spiritual masters and saintly persons also dissect some of the knots in the obstinate mind of living entities by way of apparently distasteful injunctions and instructions varying on the degrees of entanglement. But the suffering entity is hardly inclined to agree with such injunctions and instead misapply a lot of harsh words to those saintly persons, blaspheming them as their enemies and extremely merciless executioners.
Ah.
So-called relatives and friends of such suffering entities strongly advocate against such a surgical operation to avoid the apparent pain and uneasiness. Some such pseudo-friends, even in the name of impersonalism, advise one to commit suicide to get rid of the rut. In fact, none of these ways can be fruitfully undertaken for eternal welfare of an entity. The constitutional position of a living entity is only realized after disentanglement from all unworthy mundane attachments with the help of saintly injunctions sincerely followed. This enables one to enter into the province of devotional service, which is the only way to eternal bliss and peace of mind.
Jai Shri Bhakta Thakur ki. Such a simple story, giving a very profound message to us. The need of a guru, the need of that surgical, what is that surgical, like boil? Using a surgery, removing the boil is like cutting the knot of attachment in our heart. It is definitely painful. Definitely painful. We have to undergo that austerity. We have to get up in the morning, chant the holy name. It looks very painful. Everyone is saying, why you have to get up? Continue. Why you have to take holy prasad? Why you want to do devotional service? You do at the age of 90. Now you want, why you want to do? So all these things keep coming, but he continues. And spiritual master is very determined. And for us, may not be directly spiritual master, but a representative of spiritual master is there. Prabhu, where are you, Prabhu? Last few weeks not appeared in temple. How are you? Call comes from the representative of spiritual masters. So small stories can give us a lot of explanations. And there are many stories like this of Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, which gives a lot of insights for us. So I'll stop. Already it's 9:20. So another way, for the easy way to get rid of the knot of material attachment is association of the devotees. By great association, we can come over all the attachments. Let me just show that one. There are a lot of, but we don't have time to discuss all those. One more shloka. Association with pure devotees. Yes. So this is the prayers of Jambudvipa Vasis. Narada Muni is offering prayer to Naranarayan Rishi. So let's read the translation. Read the translation.
After many births, when the result of one's pious activities mature, one gets an opportunity to associate with pure devotees. Then one is able to cut the knot of bondage to ignorance, which bound him because of varied fruity activities. As a result of associating with devotees, one gradually renders service to Lord Vasudeva, who is transcendental, free from attachment to material world, beyond the mind and words, and independent of everything else. That Bhakti Yoga, devotional service to Lord Vasudeva, is real path of liberation.
Yes. So another way to cut this Granthi Randhana, like it is mentioned here, Nana Gati Nimitta Vidya Granthi Randhana Dwarena Yadahi Mahapurusha Prasangaha, by that Mahapurusha, like spiritual master, their Sangha, Prasangha, we have to engage in the service of them and take an opportunity to be with them. So with that association of pure devotees also, that Granthi, the Hridaya Granthi can be cut, Randhana, very easily by the association. So we saw by hearing we can do, by chanting and by knowing the knowledge. There is one more shloka. By knowing about this we can do. One more is association. By association we can come out of all these things. A lot of things to discuss. But one video I will show and we will conclude. How association is very, very important. Even if Maya is very, very strong. Maya is very powerful. Maya is, who is Maya? Krishna's own servant. Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate chacharacharam hetunanena kaunteya jagat viparivartate. That Krishna says, I am the adhyaksha. But before that he says, Daiviyesha gunamai mama maya dhuratteya. My own Maya. She is very difficult to overcome. But there is an easy way to overcome. So So let's see the power of association. Even if you are not a powerful, by association you can be get saved by the association of the devotees. Yeah. So please watch this attentively. 2 minutes video, but very lot of lessons we can learn.
0 to 40 miles an hour in under a second. The fastest acceleration of any bird of prey. Short, rounded wings and a foot-long tail steer through dense forest with unparalleled agility. Yet even sheep can be outmaneuvered. Other, much smaller creatures here possess astonishing abilities that can defeat the phantom of the forest. With specialized eyesight adapted to low light, the chickadee is first to spot the airborne threat. And first to raise the alarm. A coded message broadcasting the hawk's position and speed. Squirrels not only recognize the chickadee's call, they've learned to mimic it almost perfectly. In seconds, the warning is retweeted from one animal to another. It relays through the forest at over 100 miles per hour. More than twice as fast as the hawk. Message received, loud and clear. Enemy approaching, low and fast. When the little guys look out for each other, it keeps them one step ahead. You don't have to be big and tough to survive. What you really need are friends. Welcome to the world of animal alliances.
So this alliance for us indicates association of devotees. We need not be a big devotees. If we have a strong association among the devotees who regularly helps us and keeps us connected with Krishna, and you are taking real shelter of them, then we need not be we cannot be bigger than Maya. Can any one of those animals can become bigger than that hawk? Impossible. You cannot never overcome. If you are alone, you are gone case. You become food for that hawk. But that hawk could overcome easily. They could overcome that power of hawk because of association and coordination. What they were discussing? Krishna Katha, not Prajalpa. They were discussing Krishna Katha. They're telling and giving awareness of Maya. Prabhu, Maya, careful. You have to come. You have to do this, do that, do this service. Means all the discussion happens that we may be tiny, small creatures, but if we are together, we have strength. Even in performing a devotional service together, we can be successful overcoming Maya and easily overcome all the attachments of material nature and serve Krishna. So very, very easily. So we need not be so big and lot of determination, other things. No, association will help. So take strong association, especially of the great Vaishnavas who come to temple or great Vaishnavas. We go and take association whenever possible, like Vyas Puja and other this celebration. We should never compromise for the yatras where the association is like thousands of times the normal day. That's why yatras for all of your camps, this and all we should never miss. Here where we get the actual association. So with this concluding words, I just end. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. It's already 9:28. I think we don't have time for question answers. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So let us thank Abhishek Prabhu. for taking out his precious time and sharing his wisdom on Bhagavatam by one time loudly chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Please can proceed for prasadam. Hare Krishna.